Great delivery. Now that front foot is towards mid-off. Sorry, the back foot is towards mid-off. Should be towards point. And he's very good there on that middle leg stump. 70 for 3.
.615, plays 70 for 3. And at the beginning of this day number 3, what South Africa are thinking is, how can they get 15 more wickets? And that's what's in their minds. For Pakistan, nicely bowled, good effort ball. For Pakistan, well, they have to draw inspiration from the South Africans themselves. 3 of their batters were able to get centuries, more than 100. Rizwan, well, his last century, 171 not out, against Bangladesh in Rawalpindi. Go a bit further back for Babar. 22 innings ago. But in 2022 he batted a long time, 607 minutes, Babar, against Australia, and got 196. They batted a long time, 171 overs to draw the game, so there is the ability, certainly.
Different conditions, different circumstances, playing at home. Circumstances are a little different here as well, because you've lost the first test match, so the dugout is not that happy-chappy as far as result is concerned. So you're operating from a negative platform, and then to raise your game and raise the hopes of the dugout, it takes a lot of effort. What's that emoji? A smiling shoe?
Yeah, one.
Whilst the test is more so for Pakistan, it's also for South Africa. For South Africa's bowlers, can they stick in the situation on a flat one? In South Africa, generally, if you look over the past sort of 3, 4, 5 years, some will say longer, you're not bowling too long. You're not bowling 100 overs and trying to get teams out.
No!
And so that, as a mindset, also important, as a challenge, as something to get over, something to work out.
Yeah, definitely. There's no doubt that the surfaces in South Africa have become a little bit more sporty, and we would probably go down the route of St. Wanderers and Supersport Park in particular. We saw a test match here last year where it was, 2 days? And there's an art. There's an art to test bowling when you have to charge in and come back for the 4th, 5th, sometimes even the 6th spell, and still try and be as effective, find different ways of picking up wickets, trying to create opportunities, set different fields. It'll be interesting to see what South Africa will have to do. 72 for 3.
We called it a more traditional test match. The test match between South Africa and Sri Lanka at Gqeberha, the second test, where lots of runs scored, first innings, both sides. just tough going for the bowlers. So long periods of time when not a whole lot happens. And you expect that will be the case here. And what South Africa will want is for Pakistan to feel like they're going nowhere and therefore feel some pressure, lose concentration. But essentially it's about those long periods and who can do good things for longer.
Yeah, it's about finding the right balance. It's the mental balance and the technical balance. Every batsman wants to have a bit of rhythm, whether he's stopping the ball or playing short, and so Rizwan and Babar usually are not tested like this. And most batsmen are not tested in such situations, especially these days where test matches are finishing in 3-4 days. You've been asked to dig in and play a long role, have a long spell at the crease. Good early call, he makes his ground, single taken. You've got to really look after that aspect of batting and partnership.
With the pitch flat, the fielding aspect, run outs. If there's a chance, make sure you're awake to it. Make sure you're trying to take that as well. Stubbs applauded by the skipper for his swooping.
Yeah, on that point, Pom, we were touching about how many overs you have to bowl. I can remember having Keith Lane look it up for us with regards to people who had bowled, or how often I had bowled more than 25 overs in an innings for South Africa, because I kind of remembered that for me, like 24, 25 was kind of a stock standard innings. The amount of times you operated. And I was quite keen to compare what some of the guys had done in the past compared to Kakisa Rabada, because they wrap things up really quickly. There's an example. I bowled in 202 innings, 63 times we bowled more than 25 overs. Makantini 41, Ellendon 41, Steyn 35, Morkel 23. KG's run 122 matches and only been past 25 overs in an innings 17 times. Now, I'm not saying he's not more effective than we were. And I think there's a few things that contributed. The nature of the surfaces in South Africa. I think some of the batting techniques, where people looking to score quicker and not being as watchful as they used to be in the past, and looking to absorb pressure. And it's just the nature of the modern game. We're getting more test results, which is good. We're enjoying the fact that most test matches ends up in a result. But that was back in the day, which we used to think was normal. It's not that normal anymore that you go to the second new ball even over 100 overs.
So here's a good stat for you. 100 scored in 2024 had an average strike rate of 67, and 100 scored in 1990s average strike rate of 51. And that is in Test cricket, obviously. So hence your point that batsmen are playing more shots. They're providing us with a lot of entertainment. That's the reason why matches have been now done in 3 or 4 days. Nobody has the capacity to really to stay out there for 5 days.
Yeah, and therefore giving more chances to bowlers to get them out quicker. 75 for 3.
Also, you put into point, you used to go to the subcontinent, you used to have to bowl a lot of overs to wait for the surface to turn. Now sometimes you rock up and it turns on day one, or you get greener wickets because people want results and back their units. So there's no doubt it's changed. But I think this pitch could be an example of where South Africa might have to think out of the box and grind out. We'll have to wait and see if Pakistan can make them do that.
I suppose in this sense it's then about your ability to adapt and the difficulty thereof if once every sort of 10 test matches or so, you come up in such conditions and have to, you then have to work quite hard, and it's foreign to you.
I always remember there's one test match. In the first over of the match, we had won the toss, and we'd lost the toss and been asked to bowl first, and we'd kind of been hoping that it was going to be quite a sporty surface or had some good carry all through. And Alan Donald bowled his second delivery, and as he walked back past the stump mark, he said, "A round of applause for the groundsman," because it was an absolute flat here, and we'd worked it out after 2 deliveries that it wasn't going to be the surface we were after, and it was going to be a bit of a tough task to try and pick up 20 wickets to win the game. It is a mindset change, and it's something that the bowlers these days, if you say to them, well, you're going to have to bowl 30 overs to bowl this team out, they go, oh gosh, why would it take us that long?
That's funny.
I take you back to 1988 now, boys, where we were playing West Indies in West Indies. So this was the 3rd test match at Barbados. The first 2 test matches, we won the first one at Guyana, absolutely flat. I think Abdul Qadir picked up 5 or 6 wickets. Imran with his reverse picked up 10. Second game was a tantalizing draw, another flat pitch.
Oh, does it carry? I wonder if it does go off the glove and onto the helmet. But there's that short one that's going to be testing. There'll be just a few sprinkled in as they try with the fuller length as well.
Yeah, he's rubbing his shoulders. I'm thinking off the shoulder onto the helmet or the grill. But was it glove first?
Yeah, extra spice and pace and bounce from Jansen. You'll always get that, but it was the awkward area that he targeted. Changed the angle from around the stumps to over the stumps. And the target was the collarbone or the rib cage. That is a difficult ball to handle. There's no one at short leg. Square leg in position. Got him, I think, off the shoulder on the grill. Maybe grill and then shoulder.
Yeah, top effort. Good bumper, actually. And smart in changing the angle. All of that's going to have to come into play on a surface that is placid. A surface that's easier for the batters. This partnership important for Pakistan. They've notched up 56. That's their 5th 50 partnership. They've got 200 partnerships as well. So it's the one South Africa are desperate to break, whilst Pakistan would love for the two to stay together.
Replay again of Shan Masood's dismissal. Enough movement to get the outside edge, went hard at the ball with an angular bat, well held in the slips. This not only rushed him because the ball hit the bat before he was actually ready for it, and then playing with a crooked angle, slanted angle, pushed back into the crease and inside Shakil. Really a great shot. It was on the walk actually. Weight on the heel, probably looking for a bounce, I'm not too sure. Catching in the slip cordon was outstanding.
He's getting some running repairs. I prefer this angle of attack personally from Marco Jansen. I think with the height he generates, it's a difficult angle to defend, and if you just get it wrong, it brings that slip cordon into play, whereas from around the wicket, it's often tight at your body and easier to deal with, and it's proved to be the case with some of these short deliveries that he's bowled.
You get the thought process of right-handers and go round the wicket, just keep those stumps in play, go at them, and maybe you get some up and down stuff. There certainly are more decisions to make for the right-hander when the lefty is over the wicket. And then with that bumper as well, it's just kind of in a blind spot for Rizwan. He didn't pick it up at all and had then to decide to play whether he's pulling or he's just trying to get under it. Oh dear, another one. No ball again. The proliferation of these from the South African attack. Something to weed out. Helped on its way. And away for 4. Well controlled that time by Rizwan.
Well, that length in that ball is definitely in play. The shorter ball this time, a little wayward. And once again, Rizwan a bit late on that one.
It was actually interesting when he was getting his treatment. He was sitting there discussing stuff with Babar Azam, and he actually tended to suggest that maybe he should take it on. So that might be a new approach from him. They've got 2 men back now, South Africa, and they probably will be encouraging him to try and take it on.
Yeah, nothing like it. It's like falling outside off and batter just keeps leaving it alone. You then have to go that bit straighter. But with the short one, if you decide you're going to play, well, they're going to provide you the opportunity over and over. Gone at it, and he's got it all the way for 6. Oh, this will be exciting.
Rizwan absolutely decisive on this occasion, not holding himself back. Got it in the right area and he was ready for it. And so Pakistan end the over on a high. It was a good shot in the end, looking for a 6, and he got a 6 as well. Yeah, got in very good position, got inside the line of that bouncer and just helped himself for a 6. Johnson short balls today, hit him flush on the glove. He's pretty tall, awkward, and then hit him on the grill. So he's going to pepper them with some short stuff and get maximum out of this surface.
"23 runs scored this morning. Pakistan resuming on 64 for 3. It's been good going between Rabada and Janssen. Good probing bowling. Pleasant day for Test match cricket here at Newlands. If you just joined our coverage, that's the match situation. Pakistan trailing by a massive 528 runs. Got 2 of the best batters out in the middle, Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan. This partnership, 67 from 125.
For Pakistan, the boys have got to go really big. They've been communicating a lot. Obviously, Rizwan has decided that he's going to have a dip at some of those short ones rather than have those bruises. Hello, Vern.
Yeah, good morning, Hayes. Good morning, Cass. Good morning to all our viewers. The buzz phrase this morning is bad time for this pair, senior pair for Pakistan, and it's important that they start well today. Yeah, he's been so good in that channel, KG Rabada, asking all the right questions, challenging the technique of Babar Azam. That wobble seam again. And as a batter, you almost have to play that because of that angle he's creating. It almost looked like it's coming back at you as a right-hander, but then just leaving you off the seam. Excellent piece of bowling from KG.
And that's exactly the spot that he was looking at. I was pointing at the pitch report today. It's exactly the spot. It's almost your length, Vern. It's 5.5 meters in the base of the stumps. Exactly the spot. A couple of little cracks, a couple of areas where there's just a crumble of a crack where the ball's hit.
Yeah, I certainly feel operating from that Weinberg end that you can just hold the channel from time to time you can venture a little bit fuller, because we have seen the ball deviating off the seam, but the line is important. You want to get better play at as many deliveries, especially early on. That's the surface that you're talking about, Hazy. A couple of barren patches, a couple of greener patches, so there's a lot of natural variation in the surface.
Wonderfully struck down the ground. Babar Azam moves into the 40s, 42 now.
I mean, that's why we like watching him so much. He's such a wonderful player when he's going. And Babar's just effortless, absolutely effortless. Just lent on this. It's Rabada bowling that delivery. It's slightly fuller than the previous ones. Just punch it down the ground for 4.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the way Babar Azam is moving this morning. Understanding that KJ Rabada has to come fuller from time to time, but just look at that position he gets himself in.
One for 3 after 29 overs.
Yeah, and we often talk about subcontinent players driving in South Africa. If you can get yourself into this kind of position with body behind the line of the delivery, you're giving yourself every opportunity of success. When you play away from your body, that's when you get into danger.
And Ramiz Raja was talking about in the build-up how last night the guys are playing very much from the crease and hanging back a little bit. Completely the opposite to what Babar Azam did in that scenario.
Pakistan, when they were bowling, they fed South Africa square of the wicket, short, wide, and they were able to just put that ball away. But Jansen and Rabada have done so well this morning. They found their good areas early. And to build pressure from both ends now is important for South Africa. Ripped through the top order last night, 20 for 3. But this partnership has stabilized things for Pakistan. Highest partnership at Centurion was 81. Second highest was 79. They're going to have to bat longer than that. You talk about batting time and wearing out the South Africans. These are the 2 batters that are likely to do that.
Now, there was quite a meeting there, committee meeting, really. Jansen, Maharaj and Pavuma, they were taking a lot of time to decide what was happening. The Pakistan batsmen were getting a little bit annoyed, interrupting the rhythm a little bit. They were saying, come on, at one stage, to the umpire.
Yeah, and I suppose the big part of that chat would have been, although you're trying to bat throughout the day, still to be busy. So a positive body language. Very often you can get yourself into trouble when you drop that body language. So they are well aware of focusing and really putting massive impetus and focus on the start this morning. Noble from Marco Jansen.
You would think you better get those size 14s behind.
At least some part of it.
A couple of no balls from Vian Mulder as well towards